This is the Overdue Homework Podcast.
Welcome to the show. That's Trav. I'm Drew.
And I'm Trav.
This is the Overdue Homework Podcast, and as always, we are here to give you our opinions about 80s and 90s media. Do not forget to contact us at podcast@overduehomework.com.
Boom.
I thought you were raising your hand like you had a question.
No,
Trav.
I'm proud of you for having the right email on here.
Yes,
You said it right,
I
but
said
you've
it
had
right.
the wrong one in there forever.
Forever and ever, and I never knew if I was saying it correctly ever. Trav, how are you doing?
I'm doing super good. A lot better than last week when I got my wisdom teeth out.
Yeah,
That's for sure.
You seem to be doing pretty well.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
yeah,
good.
But it was rough that first day. Like, the drugs they gave me, I barfed back up. Like, the anesthesia was rough for me for some reason.
They put you under?
Yeah, because my bottom two were, like, barely peeking out of my gums,
Yeah.
so they had to, like, cut it open, break them into little pieces,
Ooh.
and pull them off. And, yeah, I'm glad I was asleep, because he told me, all right, now this one, you don't need to worry about counting back from 100. This is just to relax you. And then next thing I know, I'm waking up in a different room, and they say I'm done. I'm like, cool, I guess. But, yeah, dude, I'm not gonna lie, the pain was pretty bad for me. Like, and Lauren just had hers taken out, and she did it like a champ. I mean, hers were exposed, unlike mine. So I was like, oh yeah, if she didn't have any pain, I'll be fine.
You'll be fine.
Nah, dude, I was still rough the Monday after.
I don't doubt it.
I have some pain now, but nothing like that first few days.
Well, that's good. No dry sockets, no nothing.
No
That's
dry
good.
sockets,
That's good.
none of
That's
that
good.
stuff.
That's good. I had mine done in high school, and what I remember from it, I got put out for it too. From what I remember from it, it was rough.
Yeah.
It was rough. That's for
Yeah.
sure.
Do it early, kids.
Yeah.
If there ain't kids listening, get your parents to pay for it and do it early.
Yeah,
Because,
that's exactly.
it sucks.
Getting put under for anesthesia is the weirdest thing ever, because
Yeah.
it's just like all of a sudden, bam, and it's over with.
Yeah.
It's the weirdest thing ever. You don't remember anything at all. Like, when I broke my leg, it was also like super like fast.
Yeah.
They were like, okay, we're here. Let's take an MRI. Yep, you need surgery. Okay, we're going to surgery.
Yeah.
Here's some pills. Here's some anesthesia. And then you're waking up, and I'm in terrible pain with a broken
Right,
leg.
like, cool. That was awesome. Yeah, I've only been put under once when I was a kid. I got 2 teeth pulled, not wisdom teeth, and I wasn't nervous about it at all, but for some reason I was really nervous about being put under as an adult. I don't know why. I'm just like, I might not wake up. And the nurse like, oh, we'll wake you up.
I mean, they're basically like putting you on death's door.
Yeah.
Basically.
I'm just like worried, am I going to have some crazy like death dream and not wake up? Nah, it was fine.
Have you ever heard about how people can sometimes still have memories from their surgery even if they're put under?
Ugh, I've heard of that. But
Yeah.
luckily I don't have any myself.
I never did either, so thank goodness for that.
But after that long story, how are you doing, Drew?
I'm doing pretty good. I was gonna. I meant to talk to you about this like 2 months ago. I saw Deadpool and Wolverine.
Boom.
Very, very good. Very,
Super
very
good.
funny. I think that it was very like parabolic in the fact that it was like comedy movie, action movie,
Yeah.
comedy movie, action movie, comedy movie. They should have just gone all in on the comedy and just been like, okay, yes, we'll work in a little bit of action, but it's not going to feel like it felt like a broken up movie a little bit to me.
Sure.
Which was fine. I still loved it. I thought it was hilarious, and I can't wait for another Deadpool movie, although Ryan Reynolds seems to be in a little bit of hot water lately. So
Yeah. My buddy kind of said the same thing, and I guess I didn't notice it the first time I watched it, but he thought the first like half was really slow of Deadpool Wolverine.
Yeah, there was a lot of supposition for it being like the third Deadpool movie.
Yeah.
Like there was a lot of explaining what's going on.
But there's like so many jokes and like
Yes.
Fox in the ground and like making fun of Disney and all that.
Yes.
That it was great, and I wanted to see Hugh Jackman in that suit, so it's all good.
I love multiverse stuff, so whenever you can get into like a multiverse type of thing, when they can bring that into any of the movies, which I mean obviously they're doing all the time.
Yeah.
I love it, especially when they visit like where they're controlling the multiverse. I love that for some reason.
Plus,
I really
now
love
we
that.
get Hugh Jackman till he's 100. 'cause
Yeah.
he's got that Disney money.
He's
so
got
it's
that
all
Disney
good.
money. And then I also saw The Boy and the Heron, which is the 2023 Miyazaki Studio Ghibli movie,
Oh, okay.
which was very good. No spoilers allowed, I guess, for this because it's such a recent movie, but I would really recommend that you guys watch it. I think you and Lauren would actually really like it a lot. It left me wanting some explanation towards the end of the movie, but it was still very good.
Nice.
Anytime you get a Miyazaki-directed Ghibli film, it's like It's a must watch. I'm kind of sad that it took me almost 2 years to watch it, but
Yeah.
that's okay because I need to watch it again. I need to watch it again to get some more answers. But, Trav, with that out of the way, why don't we move over to the homework review? But before we do that, I want to say that I used an article in preparation for this podcast from mentalfloss.com, and that was by Roger Cormier, and he has contributed unknowingly to our podcast on a few other occasions.
Thanks, Roger.
Thanks a lot, Roger. Of course, today we are doing The Terminator from 1984, directed by James Cameron himself.
Boom.
The idea for The Terminator started with a fever dream, according to Cameron. He was the director on what was described as the tumultuous set of 1981's Piranha 2, The Spawning. It's tumultuous in the fact that he disowned the fact that was his first movie for a large portion of his career. He basically said, no, Terminator is my first movie. Sometimes so for him, the production of Piranha 2 basically gave him nightmares. And while they were in Rome for the horror movie's release, Cameron had a fever dream of a metal death figure coming out of a fire. So that's the genesis of the Terminator. Cameron's agent at the time hated the idea. So Cameron, who was living in his car, said, "You're fired. You're fired. You're fired. Get out of here." Cameron, he insisted that he direct the Terminator despite having only Piranha 2, The Spawning, under his belt. So instead of simply selling the script to the highest bidder, Cameron sold it to producer Gale Ann Hurd for $1.
Ooh,
$1.
No, that's a deal.
With the stipulation that he got to direct it, and he was allowed to do his vision for the movie. So, all right, here's $1. Take a risk on this movie. I'm going to make it. What is her What did she gain in only paying $1 for that when she's also going to be putting up, millions of dollars to actually make the movie?
Right.
What if it's a complete shitty bomb?
Right, exactly. Without knowing it's going to be a success, that's a little risky.
I guess maybe if you're paying nearly $1 million for script normally and it could be a bomb, maybe $1 is still a steal.
That's true. Maybe she really loved Piranha too.
Yeah, maybe she was just
The Spawning.
But, like we said, it's a gigantic gamble that paid off in more ways than one for Cameron and Hurd. They married in 1985.
That's pretty cool.
So maybe they were a little bit on the DL before. They divorced in 1989. Cameron married 3 more times, including Catherine Bigelow and the Terminator's leading lady, Linda Hamilton.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he married Linda. That's probably why they broke up. Why him and Hurd probably split up, because of Hamilton.
Probably.
She's a homewrecker. Sorry, Linda. I know you're a listener.
You're a big-time listener.
Written by James Cameron and Gale Ann Hurd. Produced by Gale Ann Hurd. Starring Arnold Schwarzenegger as the Terminator. Michael Biehn as Kyle Reese. Linda Hamilton as Sarah Connor. Cinematography by Adam Greenberg. Edited by Mark Goldblatt. Music by Rad Fidel. Released October 26th, 1984. There's a horror angle to this movie, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, right? It's
For
basically like a Jason, not a Freddy Krueger movie, but like a Jason movie.
It is kind of like Jason, now that you say that.
So maybe that's why it was released near Halloween. Had a budget of $6.4 million. Had a box office of $78.3 million, and that is $236.3 million in 2025.
I don't want to spiral too far, but you saying Jason, it does remind me of that, and I wonder watching it why he's not faster on foot. He's a machine.
He is a machine.
Why are they able to outrun him? He knows how to do everything. He can hop on a fucking motorcycle and drive it, no problem. He can hop in a car, drive it, no problem.
No problem.
When they probably don't exist in his future that he's from. He's just programmed to be able to do it. But for some reason, he can only run as fast as Arnold can run. And that flesh is weighing him down. I don't know what it is, but I just find it funny that they're able to outrun him.
It is kind of... She outruns a semi later on as well.
That's true. She might just be Olympic sprinter fast, I guess.
No.
Machines can't even understand it.
No, they cannot. They cannot understand Linda Hamilton. The Terminator, 1984. We open to the not-too-distant future, L.A. 2029.
That's always super fun to me.
It is.
We're, in the future.
Right. I loved how we got to the Back to the Future 2 date, and now we're going to get to the Terminator date eventually as well, which is going to be fun.
So we've lived through a nuclear war,
right,
and machines are taking over.
Well, at this rate, there might be an AI apocalypse.
That's true.
In this movie, it's just the robot apocalypse.
Yep. Skulls everywhere.
The machines rose from the ashes of the nuclear fire. Their war to exterminate mankind had raged on for decades, but the final battle would not be fought in the future. It would be fought here in our past. Tonight.
Dun dun
Dun, 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 dun.
dun dun.
I love that opening so much.
Oh.
It's just so like super 80s iconic.
Super 80s.
It makes me think of other Arnold films, obviously.
Definitely.
I mean, that's probably why it was kind of done that way, I would assume.
Right.
The scrolling text in the background. Oh, man. The retro futuristic like credit font with the blinking cursor.
Yeah.
I love that stuff. All the tingles.
In L.A., 1984.
So that garbage truck dude, he has got a story to tell.
Yes,
no
he
one's gonna believe it.
No.
The lightning crackles and enter a nude Arnold. I mean the Terminator. Arnie, he's looking pretty good.
He's looking pretty damn good, Arnie.
Bouts quarter off that ass. So the studio reportedly wanted O.J. Simpson to play the T-800.
Okay.
Sure, why not? It's been
Sure.
it's been bouncing around the internet for so long that you probably think it's an urban legend, but Orion co-founder Mike Medavoy admitted in 2014 that he had strongly suggested O.J. Simpson for the title role. Cameron dismissed this though because Simpson came off as a nice guy.
Yeah, and he's probably just too fast in real life. He would have caught Linda. Linda had no chance against OJ.
No chance.
So over to some street punks, one of which
Our buddy Bill Paxton.
and we got Shao Kahn from Mortal Kombat 2, which is coming up in a few episodes.
I knew I recognized that guy,
That
but
deep
I
voice,
couldn't put my finger on
yeah.
it. And I couldn't. And that Terminator, he's hanging dong.
He's hanging dong.
He's
Some
hanging
serious dong.
as he walks up to them. Nice night for a walk, eh? Nice night. A nice night for a walk. That's terrible. Nice night for a walk.
There we go.
Wash day, right? Your clothes, give them to me. He does repeat though. He's like, "What?" Or nice. What does he say? He says, "Wash day, right?"
Yeah.
Very funny. Fuck you, asshole. You get a hole in your chest. Arnold does get the clothing, though. The Terminator, he does get the clothing.
He does.
Over to an alley, and that lightning, it crackles again. Enter a second nude dude, Kyle Reese.
Yeah.
Arnold was originally going to play Kyle Reese.
Oh,
interesting.
that is interesting.
When James Cameron went to have lunch with Schwarzenegger to discuss this, Cameron had a change of heart and asked the actor if he would consider playing the villain instead, after Schwarzenegger kept telling him how the T-800 should act. So do you think Arnie secretly was like, I should be the Terminator?
I should be the Terminator.
I should be the Terminator. Even though he had a lot of opinions on the character, Schwarzenegger didn't like the idea of playing the bad guy. He had just found success playing heroic Conan, the heroic Conan in Conan the Barbarian. But he eventually agreed to do it anyways.
Nice.
Very good career move by Arnold Schwarzenegger.
And then we got Kyle's entrance, and it isn't so graceful.
No.
He steals some poor hobo's pants.
So Michael Biehn, he actually said in an interview, oh man, I wish I could remember what he said it in, but in an interview he said that he watched the stunt of the dude falling from the sky and hitting the pavement was like one of the most impressive stunts that he had seen like a stuntman do on a movie set. Like he was on a pallet like that's jacked up in the air, and he said when Cameron said action, the dude just like threw himself off the pallet.
Jeez.
And just smacked onto the ground. He's like, I can't believe he did that.
That's some dedication.
Well, after Kyle Reese steals those pants, the police do arrive. The poor guy, he's already in trouble and on the run from the police. That was very quick.
Yeah, very quick.
Our second nude dude gets the drop on one of the officers. What day is it? What year? He doesn't get his answers. He just gets puzzled looks.
But didn't he know what he was doing? Like, didn't he come back purposely? But it was just like a shot in the dark that he'd be here. Or he didn't know what year it would be, but he knew this is when T-800 was coming.
It's interesting. But so they both ended up in the exact... So if there was the ability for there to be error in this process of time travel, how did they both end up in the exact same day?
Minutes
exact
apart.
Same year, minutes apart.
Yeah.
So so by that logic, the machine that they use to go back in time is very accurate.
Right. Like set to a specific thing, which he either saw before he went in or something. But okay.
So he should know exactly
He
what
should
date.
know exactly.
Yeah.
But it makes for a really funny line. What year? Like, what do you mean?
And how does a dude not spit it out? 1984, you dummy.
Yeah. You moron. Crackhead.
Surrounded, Kyle ditches into a sporting goods store, department store.
Yeah.
Who knows what the hell that thing is? It's in the dark. He finds everything he needs, though.
Everything he needs is in there.
While evading a dozen cops. This movie does not shed a good light on the LAPD.
No, it does not. They suck the big one. That's for sure.
He finds clothing that fits and shoes that fit on the first try.
Yep.
Just immediately.
Obviously.
I do like the shoes, though.
Yeah.
Gotta like some Nike high tops,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Gotta like some
Definitely.
Nike high tops. And then he tries to run out the front door.
Yeah.
Sure, just run out the front door.
Sure.
Why not? That's a no-go, so upstairs it is. And that cop does not do his due diligence.
No.
He just shines his flashlight up that escalator and is like,
He probably didn't go up there.
I'm not getting paid to go upstairs. No need to go upstairs. Kyle escapes and takes a shotgun from a cop car. That was super easy.
Way too easy. Way too.
I gotta imagine in 1984 that those shotguns are locked like they are now, correct?
Gotta be.
I would assume.
I would assume.
I would
But,
assume.
you know, Kyle finds a phone book and gets the list of Sarah Connors in the area.
Smart.
Smart.
Very smart. Flash to a hot babe on a moped.
Yeah.
She looks terrified of riding that moped
Yeah.
while she's on. She's like, oh my God.
Oh my God.
She's just a working girl trying to make ends meet in L.A.
Yeah.
Back over to the Terminator, smashing car windows, stealing cars, just ripping open that steering column. No
Yep.
problem. Do you think Arnold Schwarzenegger actually just grabbed that steering column and just...
I mean, it'd be pretty believable.
I bet he did. I'm just going to... In my in my mind, I'm going to say yes, he did.
Yes, he did.
They're like, fiddle around with it. He's like, I'm going to rip it open. Go! Back to our waitress. She is not a good waitress.
No.
She's spilling shit, ice cream in the pocket, and then
Yeah.
the weirdest line ever. Nice going, kid. I had to give you the tip. That was so weird. That was
so weird.
So weird. Back to the Terminator. He's getting guns. The 45 long slide with the laser sighting. Phase plasma rifle. hey, just what you see here, pal. The Uzi it is then. Give me the Uzi. You better bet the Terminator, he's taking it all.
Poor shop guy.
Yeah, I'm going to close early tonight.
Yes, you are.
Back to Kyle. He sawed off his shotgun in an alleyway.
Yeah, sure.
Did he saw off the barrel too? He must
I
have,
think
right?
so, yeah.
He found something sharp enough in an alleyway to saw through metal made for a gun barrel.
Yep,
He did it.
for sure.
He did it. So Sting was offered $350,000 to play Kyle Reese. I would have Sting.
Yeah,
Why not?
Sure.
At the time, Sting was playing bass and writing songs for the Police, and was committed to star in David Lynch's Dune. Have you seen David Lynch's Dune?
no.
Do yourself a favor, see it.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing.
It's
amazing.
You're not saying that with sarcasm?
It's amazing.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
Another musician, Bruce Springsteen, was considered. He had no acting experience, so they're like, well, we can't do that guy.
Yeah, I can't do that guy. That's for sure.
Matt Dillon, Kurt Russell, Tommy Lee Jones,
Oh, right.
Mickey Rourke,
All
Michael O'Keefe, Scott Glenn, Treat Williams, Christopher Reeve, and
Oh, my
Mel
God.
and Mel Gibson.
Some of these people are too much of a badass, I feel like, almost, for that role.
I think Christopher Reeve could have done it.
Yeah.
Like, I think he
He
could have done it.
but, like, Mel Gibson, Mickey Rourke, way too big of a badass, I feel like, to do that role.
Mel Gibson was he hadn't even done Beyond Thunderdome yet, so he was like just coming off a Road Warrior success, maybe, because I
Sure.
think that was like 1985, maybe 1983, something like that. I don't know the exact date on that one, but man,
Tommy Lee Jones.
Tommy Lee Jones.
That one would be a hard one for me to...
yeah.
I like him, but I don't know about this
A
role.
1984 Tommy Lee Jones. He probably looked exactly the same. He
Yeah,
did look.
yeah, probably.
He's looked exactly the same my whole life.
Yeah.
He just looked
Pretty
just-
much.
Pretty much. I don't know. Bruce Willis was another actor that didn't get the part. Bruce could have done it.
He could have done it.
Bruce could have done it.
Not that he's not badass, but...
Kyle Reese ultimately went to Michael Biehn, despite disappointing producers, by using a Southern accent in his initial audition.
All right.
Come with me if you want to live.
What do you want, Leo?
Once his agent explained to the producers that the accent came from practicing for a part in Cat on a Hot Tin Roof stage production, which he didn't even get. Okay. Bean got another shot, and he said, I went back in there and read for Jim again, and the rest is kind of history. That's not a story, Michael. The Terminator, he gets to a phone book also and rips out a page of that thing. The race is he doesn't rip out the page. Kyle Reese rips out the page, but does the Terminator rip out the page? He just scans it. He's a machine.
He just scans it.
He just scans it. He doesn't rip it out.
How does he even know to, like, phone books are barely a thing now.
Right.
And we're going to assume in this post-apocalyptic nuclear war has happened
and
they know to go check for a phone book.
That's interesting because they even say that, like, they don't really remember, like, the past very well.
Yeah.
Like, that's
All
interesting.
right.
Phone book. He got it. He did it. The Terminator is systematically eliminating Sarahs.
Yep, no problem. Knock, knock, knock.
Sarah Connor.
Yes.
Bullet to the dome.
Bullet to the dome. And then another 5 shots, you stupid bitch. Like, I don't understand that scene. He's got a laser sighter on her dome, and he hits her. Boom, she's dead. And then he just walks in and just annihilates her dead body.
She's very dead.
She's very dead.
There's no coming
That's
back
the most
from that.
dead Sarah Connor of the movie.
Back to Sarah, our Sarah Connor. And there has been 2 other Sarah Connors that have gotten killed. Is she next? Is she next?
Probably not. It must be a short movie.
Kyle in his own stolen car is having flashbacks to the war in the future. He's having a flashback to a war in the future.
Flash forward. I really like that scene, though. I like the cheesy ass, like,
Absolutely.
they're in, like, a small junkyard that they're pretending is the world now or whatever.
Yeah.
You know? Like,
I really
the
like
plasma rifles.
Yeah, just everything about the way it looks, I really, really like it. The model work is great, you know. The action is pretty epic.
And the music is amazing.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
this entire movie is like a SNES soundtrack.
Yeah.
I swear to God.
They really embrace that kind of like digital, almost 8-bit sound in the movie.
Definitely.
Plus, that one chick gets laser blasted. It explodes everywhere. And then there's that bitch and car chase and laser fight, which was obviously a dummy sticking out of that moonroof. If it was a dude, he was getting rocked.
Yeah, he was. Some serious whiplash up there.
Over to Sarah and her roommate. It's date night.
It's date night.
Yeah. And Sarah gets a very pervy phone call. It turns out it's for her roommate, Ginger.
Whoops.
Oopsie.
Sorry, I kept going on for a long time there without knowing it was the right person.
It's Matt, and then he immediately, once Ginger's on the phone, goes right back into it. Is it comedy gold? It made me laugh.
It made me laugh. Sure.
At the police station, we got Ed and Hal. Lance Henriksen, Detective Val Volkovich, was the first actor to dress as the Terminator.
Oh.
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Before Cameron arrived at the pitch meeting with Hemdale Film Corporation's producer for Lance Henriksen, he made an impression by kicking open the door and acting like the title character, wearing a leather jacket with gold foil affixed to his teeth.
All right. Sure.
The performance was so believable that the secretary dropped her typewriter onto her lap. He ended up playing Hal instead.
Yeah.
Didn't work out.
Didn't work out.
Was there anything that sounds older than she was so surprised she dropped her typewriter?
Yeah, I don't think so. What's a typewriter?
Oh, boy. And they are hip to the dead Sarahs. It's the one-day pattern killer.
Oh, I hate this crap. What do they say? Like, oh, he's going to be called the phone book killer or something. So we're back to the gal pals. You know, Sarah has an iguana. Sure, named Pugsley.
Why not?
I mean, it's cool, but that's got to be the most random pet not owned by Ace Ventura ever in a movie.
It's there so that we can have a jump scare in about a half an hour.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
that is the only reason. So Sarah, you know, she gets stood up, and I don't care that he has a Porsche. This guy sucks. Like, it's Friday night. So she's going to go to a movie instead of going out. So it's moped time.
Ever go to a movie by yourself?
Yes, I have.
I do it fairly regularly. I haven't lately, but I need to do it again.
I haven't in a while, but yeah.
It's a fun experience.
Yeah.
Like, go to a midday, like 11 a.m. matinee on like a Tuesday. It's the best. You have the theater to like yourself. Oh, it's the best thing ever.
Love
it's
it.
Well worth the $8.75 for a matinee now.
Oh,
whatever.
yeah, definitely.
Ridiculous, but whatever. I expected a jump scare in the parking garage.
Yeah.
Nope, no jump scare.
Nope.
Just Kyle Reese, who follows Sarah out of the garage.
Sure.
Not suspicious at all that this
No,
random car turned
no.
itself on and then it was following you.
Not at all. So back to the station. They're looking for our Sarah. Sig bit.
Which is very funny, that the bit where he asks, the lieutenant asks Hal for a cigarette, and then he already has one in his hand. It's very funny because he's like, he's already holding one.
Give me a cig, will ya? He's already holding one. They try calling, but Ginger and Matt are too busy with sex.
Love
it.
Wouldn't you be like, hey, will you give the headphones a break?
Seriously.
Please.
Come on.
Or he's just so happy he gets to bone her.
Yeah, he doesn't care. Whatever. Ed has the media to answer to. Maybe she'll call us? Maybe. But Sarah's at dinner. Don't touch it.
Don't touch it. Oh, that TV's.
The TV is the Sarah murders. They're all like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Instead of looking like a crazy person, she should have said, my name is Sarah Connor. Like,
that would have explained
explained everything.
Instead, she just turns around like a weirdo.
Don't touch it.
Don't touch it.
Back to the phone book, and she is the next Sarah on the list.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yikes. Bad news for payphone is out of order.
Oh.
And that weird dude is staring at her.
That is very odd, is it not?
It is pretty weird.
You're just like, look at this chick.
Yeah, that's true. So she hits the streets like anyone would do.
Yep, start running.
And Kyle is following here and not hiding it at all.
No, not one bit.
So Sarah dips into the club, Tech Noir.
What a name
Damn,
for a
that is
club.
a cool-ass name for a club.
I would go to that club.
Hell yeah, dude. Tech Noir. Meet me at Tech Noir, 8 o'clock. So Sarah heads to the phone.
It's in the back. It's $4.50 to get in. There's a cover charge.
Okay.
That's a lot of money in 1984.
That is a shit ton of money,
$4.50? Like, dang, son.
Dang. So she calls the police.
Yeah.
Well, she tries to.
Was 911 in 1980s LA that useless?
Apparently.
I mean,
I can't believe that.
There's got to be a little bit of truth to it.
A little bit.
There's got to be some, but man, it was pretty useless for a while for
Yeah.
her.
911 sucks. The cops suck.
Yes, man.
Shotguns are easily grabbable, sure. The Terminator is at Sarah and Ginger's apartment. It's sandwich time for Ginger.
Yep. Sandwich time for
I'm
Ginger.
sorry, but there is zero fucking chance those headphones are good enough that she can't hear glass shattering and lamps being smashed on them. Like, headphones aren't good enough nowadays, and she's got a set of 80s Sony Walkman headset. Like, no.
No. I mean, you had headphones like that, right?
I did.
Yes, the one with the steel band over the top, the really shitty thing, the really shitty earphones that just barely rest on your ears. Yeah,
and she's got, her 80s freaking curly hair too.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. She could hear that. But apparently these are the best headphones ever. So, and a Pugsley jump scare.
There it is.
There's that
There
scare.
it is. We'll never see that iguana again.
No.
Do you think the Terminator terminated it?
Probably.
As for you, iguana, this one's for you.
This one's for you.
He just unloads on that iguana.
8 shots on the iguana. Die. Then Matt gets his ass kicked to death.
Straight to death with you, Matt. Straight to death. Don't make me bust you up, man.
Oh, that's just hilarious because it's not going to happen. But, Matt puts up a pretty good fight.
I mean, for the only person to really take the Terminator on hand to hand, he does pretty good.
That's true.
I guess that one dude, the street punk at the beginning, tried to, but he got a fist in the chest.
Oh, yeah, fist to the chest.
Why didn't Matt get a fist in the chest? Matt should have gotten a fist in the chest.
So, here we are. Matt and Ginger are dead.
Yep, they are.
She dies with one shot to the back and goes flying. And he's
Flying.
like, yeah, she only needs 1. That other bitch needed 6. But Sarah interrupts the murdering with a phone call, naturally, of course, while he's there.
Right.
Obviously. And the Terminator hears it all. Perfect. It couldn't have went any better for the Terminator. She gives her exact address, and it knows it didn't kill Sarah.
It knows it now. Dun, dun, dun.
Sarah finally gets through to the police. Ed promises a car to pick her up at the club.
Yeah,
I've heard of Tech Noir, he says. I've been there in my heyday. Too late, though. The Terminators are already there, stalking the club for Sarah.
Yeah.
He just starts blasting people.
He does. But Kyle's there, too.
Kyle's there, though. So gunfight.
Yeah.
Boom! Shotgun blast to the face. Kyle saves Sarah from a bullet to the head.
Why didn't the Terminator pull the trigger?
Nobody
Sarah
knows.
should have been done for right there.
Oh, yeah.
Did you like the initial, like, this advanced robot that can screen people? She just, like, bends over and he doesn't see her. He's like, no person there.
Oh, yeah.
And then on his way back around, he's like, oh, there she is.
Oh, there she is. Oh, my God.
I'm going to line this shot up. Not ready yet. Not
Yeah.
ready yet.
Not ready yet.
Oh, I got shot.
Crap. Who doesn't love a bar gun fight?
Nobody. I love a bar gun fight. Glass breaking, shit exploding. Gotta
yeah.
love that stuff.
The Uzi.
Love it.
Kyle's shotgun.
Who cares? Who doesn't love a rapid fire shotgun? Who doesn't love
Who
that?
doesn't love
I
that?
love it. Just how many shells does he have in that thing?
I'm confused with this as to how, like, no damage is on the Terminator at all.
Like none. Not even his jacket is. You think his jacket would be all kind of messed up
yeah,
a little
if
bit
we're
at least.
yeah, especially the jacket. I mean, if we're gonna assume the machine is like deflecting these bullets, sure,
Right.
but like his jacket and flesh
Right.
should at least be fucked up.
He'd still be like he doesn't really like bleed per se, but like he'd still be like moist.
Right. Yeah, it's a little moist, you know, a little oil leaking out of there somewhere.
Something.
Come with me if you want to live.
Yeah.
It's hard to not say that in Arnold's
Come
voice.
with me if you want to live.
There it is. The Terminator is unstoppable,
He is
though, so
unstoppable.
that's a problem. Sarah and Kyle run. They
Yep.
run fast. Faster than him.
Faster
I don't
than
know
him.
how, but they do.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, we get to see from the Terminator's point of view.
Finally.
We've been waiting this whole damn time.
They use it so much in Terminator 2
Yeah.
that like I can't believe we're like 40 minutes into this movie and finally we get to see
Seriously.
it. Like,
Like, come on.
Come on.
So Kyle blows up a car.
Yep.
Terminator jumps on their hood.
Yeah.
No problem with frizzy, singed hair.
Yeah, and the no eyebrows, and he's like that for like the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
Like, the weird like prosthetic that's over his real eyebrows to make it look like he has no eyebrows. It's
Right.
just like, come on, just we get it that the hair got singed, but just give him some eyebrows.
Just give him some eyebrows back. We got 8 shotgun blasts. Don't do a damn thing to his coat, but that fire singes his eyebrows for the rest of the movie.
God damn it.
So, you know, Kyle and Sarah get away,
They do.
naturally.
Naturally.
Why didn't the Terminator kill the cop when he stole his car?
He just kind of like roughs him up a little bit. Why didn't he just murder him? He's an uncaring machine.
Yeah,
He should have
nobody
murdered
knows.
him. Should have murdered him.
Not Sarah Connor. Anyways, it's time for a car chase.
Love me a car chase.
Gotta give me them car chases.
Mhm.
It's a pretty damn good one at that.
The car
actually.
chases in this movie are just overall like
Great. And it's when the score is amazing.
Yes,
like,
absolutely.
perfect.
Absolutely.
So Kyle, you know, he tries to convince Sarah of the danger she's in during a car chase, and he's a stranger, but
Yeah.
sure. She probably thinks that she is taking the crazy pills. He tells her about the Terminator. It's not a robot; it's a cyborg.
Cyborg, get it right, Sarah Connor.
And that he and the Terminator from the future, one possible future, but he doesn't know tech stuff. So,
I don't know tech
I
stuff.
don't really know tech stuff. So she bites Kyle in a bid to get away, and it doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
Terminators don't feel pain, but I do. Don't do that again.
No, not again.
But listen, Terminators will not stop till you are dead. Can you stop it? I don't know.
I don't know. You don't know? You should know.
You should probably know.
At least have an idea if you can. Have a plan.
Yeah, give me something.
I don't know. Throw me in that time machine. I'll see what I can do.
Yeah.
Throw me in there nude. I don't
Yeah,
know.
If you're not at least remotely confident, what the hell are you doing here? Like, I don't feel any safer with your ass in here. Like, so, you know, it's to a point where they need a new car, and the parking garage is crawling with cops and the Terminator.
Yeah,
They find a car.
because it's a parking garage.
Right. So why does the Terminator want Sarah? Well, there was a nuclear war. The machines started it. The machines got smart and decide the fate of humanity in a microsecond. Extermination. Humanity was the machine's biggest threat, and a man named John Connor rallied a resistance. He brought humanity back from the brink. John is Sarah's son and the father figure for Kyle.
In the future. He was born after the war, a slave to the machines, working to dispose of bodies.
Yikes.
Yikes, indeed. I don't know why they wouldn't just make a machine to dispose of bodies.
Yeah.
Your object is to exterminate all humans. Why are they working for you?
Right. Yeah,
Just make a
seriously.
machine that does that.
But, anyways, the Terminator spots them. He looks ridiculous with no eyebrows. But there's more shotgun shootout. The chase continues. Another great car chase.
Although firing shotguns at each other at on a high-speed chase
Right.
doesn't make much sense.
Doesn't
but
make a whole lot of sense.
It's a lot of big banging. Gotta love it.
But the shotguns would do nothing, like you said. But it's still sweet.
Still sweet.
Racing through tunnels and under bridges, fast approaching a wall, Sarah stops the car, and the Terminator runs directly into it. Never hits the brakes.
Never hits the brakes.
Never hits the brakes. Full speed.
Yep.
Sarah and Kyle are busted.
Busted.
And the Terminator is missing.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
Where'd he go?
I don't know.
Nobody says anything. Like, hey, where's this other guy?
Yeah.
Okay, whatever.
All right.
We're not going to worry about it.
We're back at the police station, and Sarah is a mess.
Do I need to identify Ginger and No, we know it. We know it's them. You don't need to identify Ginger and Matt.
So, according to Dr. Silverman, a criminal psychologist, Kyle might be insane, but that's what we're here to find out.
That's what we're here to find out.
It's funny, though, because it seems that Ed kind of believes him.
He does.
He
He's kind of
does.
like, yeah, I mean, I could dig this, man.
I can see it. I can
guy's-
see it. He's at least taking it more seriously than the rest of the people that are interrogating
Yeah, he
him.
definitely is. He's like the man in Kyle's corner at this point.
Yeah, and they think that Kyle's a nutso.
A nutso.
And that is until the Terminator shows up to the police station.
But before that,
He needs to fix some shit on his body.
okay.
Alrighty.
It's cool and all, but the arm is the most believable of the bit.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's brutal to watch. I mean,
Yeah.
I averted my eyes a couple of times because it's tough to watch him plunge that X-Acto knife into his forearm.
Even though it's a
That is tough,
machine, it's
yeah.
just ugh.
Body horror and the Terminator's indifference to what he's doing to himself is a bit off-putting to me at times, but that's okay.
Yeah.
The eye, though, terrible.
Terrible.
The X-Acto knife straight in the eyeball.
Straight in the eyeball.
Right in the cornea.
Yeah. And, so he's got flesh and blood and all
Yep.
this, so he should be bleeding profusely
Right.
at this point. Not one little dab of a
No.
white towel, and he's good.
He's
all dried up.
He's good.
He's good to go.
The stop motion in this scene is pretty good, but it's just not realistic
It's
by
not
today's
realistic.
standards at all.
Yeah, it looks like a dummy.
I feel like they could have done better in 1984.
I think so, too.
I don't know. I feel like they could have done better.
I don't know. With the glasses on, it's time to strap up and go kill some people, baby.
I mean, he looks pretty damn cool in those
Looks
glasses.
pretty damn cool.
Pretty damn cool. Back at the police station, and they're all watching the interrogation. Silverman sees a career in making a case for him. In technical terminology, he's a loon. Kyle Reese is a loon. Ed sees something in the video that he can't quite explain, and Sarah sees it too. Maybe she's in his corner more than anybody, I would say. Maybe, I don't know. She doesn't know what to do. She doesn't know what she sees at this point. Ed and Hal explain the Terminator's survival is basically body armor and PCP. This guy was all looped up on whatever balls.
Yeah.
I don't know. I couldn't think of anything funny. So Sarah goes to sleep in Ed's office. So many people in these high stress environments, like epic things are happening, people are dying, shit's exploding.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to sleep.
I'm going to go to get some sleep.
She'll be safe. There's 30 cops in this building.
Yeah.
Well, the Terminator just showed up.
Yeah.
Silverman just misses him in the lobby. Kind of wish the Terminator would have been like, "You dead, motherfucker?"
Yeah, seriously.
Oh, boy. The Terminator approaches the cop behind the glass. "I'm a friend of Sarah Connor.
Well, she's busy, all right. If you want to wait, there's a bench over there.
I'll be back."
There it is.
The most famous Arnold line.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the most famous lines in movie history. I don't care who you are. He came back all right in his car, and blammo, that cop is samooshed.
Oh, yeah.
So Arnold tried to change "I'll be back." He didn't like it. Thinking he had a hard time pronouncing "I'll" properly, apparently. So Schwarzenegger asked Cameron if he could say "I will be back" instead, with the reasoning being that the T-800 would not speak in contractions. Cameron said, "Don't tell me how to write, bitch. I don't tell you how to act."
Yeah.
That is the quote, but I added the bitch. He then assured his star that they would shoot 10 takes and pick one that sounded best. In Schwan Houston's novelization of the film script, the line is, "I'll come back."
I'll come back.
I'll come back directly with a car. Schwarzenegger, he only speaks 58 words in the movie.
Damn.
That's it. 50. It's kind of like Hannibal Lecter is in the movie for 12 minutes. Arnold only has 58 words that he says.
That's crazy.
Technically, he says more because he parrots those people. But
Sure.
actually as the Terminator, it's only 58 words.
Yeah.
So the Terminator, he's unloading on all the cops.
All 30 cops.
They do not stand a chance.
He's already blasted 2 of them just down the hallway.
Yep.
One of the cops is still on the phone.
Huh?
Like, what is he doing in there on the phone? There's no, hang up, pull out your gun, nothing. He's just like, gunshot. Okay. Gunshot. All right. So what are we doing for supper? Oh, my God.
I'm dead.
I don't understand. But Ed gets the automatic weapons.
And the Terminator, he cuts the power.
Yeah.
Sarah hides in the dark, and Kyle escapes very easily.
Yes, he does.
Ed and Hal make their last stand, and Kyle saves Sarah yet again, but first enters the dark room and goes, "Sarah!" Just screams it. Seems pretty dumb to me.
Yeah.
They run out of the burning police station, and they take a car. A Gremlin, to be exact. Of all the cars to take in the lot, you're going to take a Gremlin?
Yeah, come on.
All right, seems like a weird choice to me. The Terminator follows by walking quickly.
Yep.
Kyle and Sarah drive that Gremlin until it runs out of gas. 5 miles, 105 miles. The world may never know.
Never know. They ditch that bitch in the woods.
Yep, and they go hide out right underneath the highway.
Yep. Yeah.
Sure. What's the point of hiding the car if you're going to just be under the highway?
Yeah.
They didn't go very far.
Feel pretty safe here.
I think you'd want to just keep on moving.
You would
just
think
keep
so.
on moving.
Right.
But anyways, romantic times under the overpass. And Kyle tells her of his travails. What's it like going through time? White light. Pain. That's it. All right. Sounds great.
Yeah, sounds great.
Turns out Kyle's been shot, and Sarah dresses the wound. Tell me about my son. Paradox much?
Hey.
For real, though.
Yeah.
The paradoxes. There's
Yeah.
so many. Kyle volunteered to go on this mission. Sarah taught John everything he knows about survival. Do I look like the mother of the future? She doesn't want any of this at
No.
all. John sent Kyle with a message, and he made Kyle memorize it.
Thank you, Sarah, for your courage through the dark years. I can help you with what you must soon face, except to say that the future is not set. You must be stronger than you imagine you can be. You must survive, or I will never exist.
Paradoxes everywhere. Kyle tells Sarah of his time in the future, and we get a second bleak flashback to the future.
Yeah.
Flashback to the future.
Yeah.
The T2 should have been set in the future. Why not?
Yeah.
Terminator 2 should have been set in the future.
Right.
Why not? That would have been cool.
Yeah.
But instead, it was in the past, and then we had to wait until the Christian Bale Terminator to be in the future.
Yeah.
What was the name of that one? Terminator Resistance?
Not Salvation.
Salvation.
Yeah, there it is.
I only saw that one time. I remember being okay. I remember thinking, this is Batman again. But that's okay. I mean, I should watch it again. I eat this shit up. Like I said before, I love this stuff in the future. Definitely. Love the look. Those kids watching TV.
Yeah.
A little funny commentary. Kids are still going to watch TV in the future.
Yeah.
Even if it's just to stay warm.
Right.
They're eating rats, so that's pretty gross. And some weird sloppy goop. Who knows what that was? Nobody wants to know. Kyle has a picture of Sarah, and they use dogs to sniff out the Terminators.
Sure.
Remember that? Remember the dogs sniffing out the Terminators?
Yeah.
Maybe the station... so maybe station the dogs outside of the entrance
Right.
instead of inside of the fortress.
Probably.
Maybe have them outside of there so then you can get the Terminator before he's already inside.
That would be the smart thing to do.
Probably. That Terminator with the glowing eyes, he really messes things up for them.
How did Kyle survive? We will never know.
We will never know.
Yeah.
Because it just cuts away. He's just done with that flashback.
Yep.
How'd he get out of that? We don't know.
Figure it out.
The next morning, Sarah and Kyle, they move out. The studio wanted Kyle Reese to have a cyborg dog sidekick.
Alrighty.
Would you have liked that?
Probably not.
No, probably not. Because of its low $6.4 million budget, Cameron was mostly left alone by his financiers, Hemdale and Orion Pictures. Hemdale's John Daly wanted Cameron to cut out the striking final images of the movie in the factory, which earned him a "fuck you, this film ain't over yet" response from Cameron. great. He actually did say that. That is the quote.
Nice.
Cameron was a little bit more receptive to Orion's other two suggestions and supposedly less colorful in his responses. The first was to strengthen the relationship between Kyle Reese and Sarah Connor, which was a note that Cameron took. I would say that it's not like a super strong love story in the background, but I mean, they have a pretty solid relationship throughout the whole movie.
Yeah.
The other was for Reese to have a cyborg canine companion. That one did not happen.
That did not happen.
I think that was a good thing.
That's a good call.
Back over to the Terminator in his apartment. He's got a pretty cool apartment.
Yeah, he is.
Do you think he just climbed up that window, killed what was ever in there, and is like, this is my apartment now?
That's what I'm thinking.
He's not looking very good at this point, honestly.
No,
looking
he's
kinda,
not. Hey, buddy, you got a dead cat in there?
Fuck you, asshole. That's it. And the guy's like, all right, fuck me. I'm out of here.
Well, I love how he has the options. Like, what determines what option he picks? Like,
his mood?
bottom one will give me the biggest reaction. I don't know. Fuck you, asshole.
The Terminator, he's going for Sarah's mom at this point. Kyle and Sarah, they shack up in a hotel, a room with a kitchen.
Yeah.
You know what that means. Room with a kitchen. Kyle goes for supplies, and Sarah takes a shower. You really know what that means.
Oh, yeah.
Sexy time is imminent.
Yeah.
Sarah talks to her mom on the phone, but it's the Terminator.
Oh, my God.
Oh, no, Sarah, what are you doing? She's so, forthcoming with all her information.
Yeah, once again.
I can't imagine giving that type of information out on the phone in 2025.
Yeah.
I'm not giving anybody an address.
Yeah.
I don't care who it is. I'm not saying that over
Seriously.
the phone. She gives all the info. It knows exactly where to find her and calls the hotel. Give me your address there. Give me your address there. Why didn't he go to another phone book? He could have done. Kyle comes back with his supplies. He's going to make some plastique for pipe bombs.
Yeah.
And the Terminator, he's on his way to kill them. Because that's what
Not
he's doing.
good.
Terminate them, to be exact,
Not
I guess.
good. That night, and the bombs are made. Next, Kyle and Sarah are gonna fuck. What are the girls like in the future?
They're all sluts. No, not really. Psst. Kyle's a virgin.
Yeah.
And he loves Sarah.
Yeah. I came across time for you, Sarah. I love you. I always have. And now I have to slam the bombs into a bag.
In anger, he's like, I shouldn't have said that. I got slamming these bombs around.
After he just told her to be careful as she was screwing the tops on.
Yep.
And then he's just fucking slamming them. And I don't care if we both die, whatever. And that got Sarah all worked up. So they bang.
They bang.
Hey. And they make a little baby named John Connor.
Props on the action movie boobs.
Yeah.
Gotta
it.
love that.
Nice. Thank you, Linda. Now that John has been conceived, the Terminator is there just in time.
Yeah.
Kyle is tipped off by the dog. And they escape and steal a truck.
Great. Steal that truck.
Sure.
Yep.
The Terminator gives chase.
That's what he do.
So it's time for another car chase.
Yeah.
Oh, baby. Car chase number 3. Once again, it's amazing.
Yep.
High-speed machine gun fire and bombs. Faster! Drive faster! And once again, I'm wondering, how can this pickup truck not go faster than his motorcycle? But I don't know.
You know, the motorcycle would probably be able to accelerate faster, but that truck should be able to go a little bit faster than 35.
Right. Exactly. Are you pressing the gas?
Push the gas pedal.
Please. The bombs do nothing for the most part. They're looking like smoke bombs
they're
at
doing
this
nothing.
point, doing nothing. Kyle gets shot again.
What a loser.
Ouchie. And Sarah wipes out the Terminator and flips the truck.
I mean, she got him pretty good on that curb, but
She definitely got him pretty good. I was waiting for her to just hit the brakes and have him hit it and go freaking flying.
that would have been
But
good.
what she did worked.
Yeah.
And then I don't understand why they went with the shot they did with the truck, because the truck gently flips onto its side
Right.
on the door, and then next thing you know it's just rolling. okay, why didn't you just not include that first shot
Right.
and just show it rolling? But I'm supposed to believe all of a sudden it started rolling. Oh my god. But the Terminator gets run down by a big rig.
But the Terminator didn't hear no bell. He's not done yet.
He ain't done yet, and it's definitely taken some massive damage.
Definitely.
Though. It's walking with a limp.
Yep.
And it gets in the cab.
Get out. Get out. So the other guy, not the guy that was driving, that he got killed, the other guy in the cab, his name is David Pierce. And so there's like an internet rumor that this movie is David Hyde Pierce's first movie role. It's not the same David Pierce.
Oh, okay.
But that would have been really crazy if the guy from Frasier is in Terminator.
Yeah, that would have been hilarious. But it's going to run Kyle and Sarah down.
There was that foreshadowing in the beginning of the movie when he first goes and finds the first Sarah. He runs over that semi-truck that looks exactly like the one that he's now driving.
Yeah.
And also in that scene, there's that little dog is freaking out and barking at him. So they
Hey.
foreshadowed that also. 'Cause
Nice.
all dogs, even if they've never been exposed to a Terminator, know that it's a Terminator.
Instinct. 100%
It's instinct.
But narrow miss.
Ooh.
John falls. Don't stop. Run! He dumps a bomb in the truck's trailer, and it explodes.
Yeah.
Sarah was really good at outrunning a semi-truck.
Yeah, like for real though, like the outrunning of the semi, she should have been ran down. She was so close to it. I guess, I don't know, maybe it can't accelerate or something. Then maybe there's some logistics to it, but man.
It's the one thing the Terminator doesn't know how to drive properly. The semi-trucks.
He can't do it. He can't do it. So that's right. That's it for the Terminator. It's all exploded. He fell over in the fire.
Nah, man, that's not it. It rises from the flames. Totally badass.
I love that scene.
Love it.
Love that. He just comes out of that fire. I love
it. Stop motion animation looks pretty good.
It does look pretty good.
Pretty good. Sarah and Kyle escape into the factory of some kind.
Yeah, who knows? What do they make in that factory? There's like fine robotic equipment and a gigantic metal press.
Yeah, seriously.
Who knows what they make?
Crush metal. And they make it behind a heavy steel door.
Yes.
It's temporary.
It is temporary.
Kyle fires up all the machines to make it hard for the Terminator to track them. Kyle is nearly dead at this point.
He's nearly dead.
On your feet, soldier.
Get up off the ground. I can't carry you.
And the chase continues. The press is foreshadowed.
It is foreshadowed.
And Kyle goes full frontal and attacks the Terminator now, and he and Sarah are cornered. Run, Sarah!
No.
Run! Come on, motherfucker. Kyle gets some good whacks in with that pipe. And then that one last bomb.
Yep.
He blows the Terminator in half.
So that's right. The Terminator's destroyed. Kyle's dead.
Yeah.
And Sarah's got some shrapnel in her leg.
Ouch.
That's
not it.
What?
The Terminator is still kicking. Well, I guess that's not completely correct because he's only the top half.
He's
now.
only the top half now.
So-
and an obvious puppet.
Obvious puppet. So what better than it's time for a crawl chase, baby.
Yeah, crawl chase.
Sarah leads it unknowingly to the press.
Like, was her plan to take it over there, or was she just trying to escape?
She seems to be very familiar with this area for some reason. I don't understand.
Very.
Shitty waitress, but put her in a factory and she will run
Yes.
that place. Seems that she is just fleeing in desperation. When she crawls through the press, I got some serious claustrophobic vibes.
I certainly did. Like, that was a bit much for me.
Yeah.
I was like, ugh, I don't like that.
And I'm sure that was intentional.
Yep.
She slams the safety cage down and pushes that button. You're terminated, fucker. It gets crushed. So that's it. Yeah, that's it for this Terminator.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just wondering. Okay, so she leads it through there, sure. How does she know which button crushes it?
I don't know.
Because she's not looking.
Nope.
And she feels a button.
Yeah.
Nope, that ain't it.
Nope.
One more. No. One more. Nope. I'm
Nope.
thinking there's probably a fourth button. Yeah, I'm going to
Yep.
hit this one. Boom, crushes it. Come on. Like, what the hell? I was wondering, like, did I miss something? Did she used to work here or something? No.
She used to, I like that. I used to work here.
This is perfect. I'll lead him down the metal press.
Oh, boy. So the Terminator, he's crushed, and there's sirens in the background. The cavalry has arrived. Sarah's nearly dead and flashed to the desert. She's speaking into a tape recorder, taking record of what has happened and what may be in store for the future. She pulls into a roadside gas station in Mexico. She's filling those tapes with tons of paradoxes.
Should I tell you about your father? that you sent him back in time to bang me to make you so that this can all happen.
Paradoxes. She has her picture snapped, and it's the picture that Kyle had in the future.
Dun, dun,
There's a storm coming. She knows. Dun 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 dun. Roll credits.
Roll credits.
Trav, what'd you think of that movie?
It's a pretty damn good movie. You know,
Yeah, man.
I would have bet my life before watching it for this podcast that I had seen it. I had not seen it.
Not seen it.
So it was kind of perfect with our theme because I watched the whole thing. I'm like, not a single scene triggered any bit of nostalgia or memory for me. So it was pretty cool.
That's
first
awesome.
watch, and like I said, I really appreciated the score in this movie. Like possibly
Great.
the best one of any movie we've covered.
It's really great.
It's, like I said, it feels like it's straight out of a Super Nintendo game. Yeah, we got the 3 car chases. Love it.
Mm-hmm.
Love Arnold. Can't get enough Arnold, obviously.
Never enough Arnold.
And I liked Reese.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, some of them names would have been interesting, but I thought Reese did a pretty good job in this movie.
He did. He did a fine job. And they obviously, for the NES Metal Gear Solid game, they directly lifted his image. Correct?
Oh, really?
Right? Oh, I'll have to show it to you. It's
Yeah.
like directly his image from this movie. It's,
Nice.
it's really good. It's really good.
But I know you liked it, but what'd you think?
Yeah, it's a movie that I haven't seen a whole ton in the last 15, 20 years.
Yeah.
A movie more that I watched probably in my teens, and I really liked it. The CG stuff, well, not CG stuff. I love practical effects
Yep.
and the model work and everything that was set in the future. And even when he tears into his arm was really good. But the other stuff, the head, the dummy head, and everything is just does not hold up in today's environment for movies and what you expect from them. I can move past that in this movie because the rest of it is so good. When you say things like the score is really good, the cinematography is really good, the acting is surprisingly good by everybody involved,
Yep.
and it's just a fun action movie watch that you can half check your brain out. Like this
Right.
movie requires a little tiny bit of thinking.
Yeah.
It's not a full on like action movie. It's almost a horror action sci-fi thriller.
Yeah.
You know, it's not so much leaning on just guns and explosions and people getting shot. There's a little bit of a thread of a cool story there, which obviously has been expanded into a whole universe of video games, TV shows, and movies.
Right.
So there was enough there at the beginning, at the genesis of the Terminator franchise in this one movie to birth a whole franchise of stuff that's now prevalent in our culture. And that's another thing about this movie is that so much of it is like in the popular zeitgeist even today. Like if you say I'll be back, everybody knows what that is.
Right.
You know, everybody knows that picture of the Terminator at the police desk with the glasses. Even if
Right.
you don't know he's going to say I'll be back.
Right.
Everybody knows that picture from this movie.
Right.
Everybody knows the give me your clothes
Yeah.
and stuff like that. This is just a seminal action sci-fi type of a movie that
Come with me if you want to live.
Come with me if
Even
you
though
wanna
it's
live.
not Arnold that
Yes.
says it in this one.
right.
But
So I mean, it's just it's a really great movie. And once we get to Terminator 2, which is not all that far
It's
away,
pretty
it's pretty
close.
close. We'll talk about it a lot more in that episode. But Terminator 2 is what Cameron wanted Terminator 1 to be almost.
Sure.
You know, that's kind of my opinion on it.
Yeah.
Because you get the Terminator 2 is the Terminator movie.
Oh yeah.
You know, Terminator
Definitely.
1 is the birth of the story, but Terminator 2 is the movie.
T2 is the one I saw a lot
Yes.
as a kid.
T2.
So much so that I thought I had seen the first 2, but I had only seen T2.
T2 is the movie, and I can't wait to do it.
And it all started with a dream.
All a
It's
dream
crazy.
because he made a
All
really
dream.
shitty movie called Piranha 2 The Spawning.
The spawning.
They should have called it Piranha 2 like The Spawning.
The spawning.
This added something weird in there. They should have done that. Well, Trav, it sounded like we both like this movie a lot.
Oh yeah.
On to the homework assignment. And we're doing Ace Ventura Pet Detective.
Boom.
Can't wait to get back to some Jim Carrey.
Oh, yeah.
Jim Carrey. Love it, love it, love it. Directed by Tom Shattuck. Screenplay by Jack Bernstein, Tom Shattuck, and Jim Carrey. Story by Jack Bernstein. Produced by James G. Robinson, starring Jim Carrey as Ace Ventura, Sean Young as Lieutenant Lois Einhorn / Ray Finkel. Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Courtney Cox as Melissa Robinson. And to me, this Courtney Cox is like the most attractive Courtney Cox of her whole life.
Oh, for sure.
Is Ace Ventura Courtney Cox.
One
That's
hundo.
for me at least. Tone Loc. Love me some Tone Loc in 90s movies.
Oh, yeah.
I love that Tone Loc was like this bit player, like character actor in the 90s and a rapper. Funky Cole Medina. Dan Marino, his only movie credit, maybe? I don't know, Dan Marino.
Right.
Cannibal Corpse as themselves. I forgot Cannibal Corpse is in this movie. That's
Nice.
pretty funny. Cinematography, Julio Macat. Edited by Don Zimmerman. Music by Ira Newborn. Produced by Morgan Creek Pictures. Distributed by Warner Brothers. It was released February 4th, 1994. This is the string of the 94s for Jim Carrey. So, I mean, this is, maybe it's the weakest of the 94s, but
Probably.
it's still one of the Jim Carrey 94 movies, which is amazing. Budget of $15 million at a box office of $107.2 million. That's nearly $230 million in 2025.
That's awesome.
That's a big time money for a comedy.
Yeah.
That's big time money. I can't wait to do this movie.
And I don't know his name, but all you Breaking Bad fans, Hector Salamanca is his
Oh,
landlord.
yeah.
I always think of the scene of him jingling his keys
Oh, yeah.
while he's trying to stall time to hide all the animals.
Hilarious. Well, Trav, with that out of the way, why don't you hit me with that outro?
Outro time. So we just got 2 questions today. So we've done enough Arnold movies now that I'd like to ask you, and I'll answer too. What is your favorite Arnold movie that we've covered so far?
Running Man.
Same.
That's my favorite one.
100%. That's exactly what I was going to say. Now, the second part of the question, is it Arnold's best performance in any of the movies?
It's pretty good in Running Man. We haven't done Total Recall yet because that'd be the other one that I would really go with.
Of what we've covered.
I think it is his best performance of what we've covered.
I agree.
I think it is.
Yeah.
Predator's a close second.
Definitely close
For
second.
me, at least, is a
There's-
close second.
There's so many good ones, but yeah, I just feel like I was blown away with how much I liked Running Man.
It's not Batman and Robin.
No. It's definitely not bad.
Turn your bones to ice.
Bones to eyes. But yeah, so, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. It's fun to get back to some Arnold. Make sure you suggest some movies or email us what you want us to read on this podcast. The email is podcast@overduehomework.com. If you're not already following us on socials, on Facebook and Instagram, it's Overdue Homework Podcast. And make sure to tune into the next exciting episode of the Overdue Homework Podcast.